First, let's just look at where Trump's lead comes from. Evangelicals. 2 in 2016, 2 out of every 3 caucus votes in Iowa were from evangelical Christians. Remember, Trump lost the state in 2016 to Ted Cruz. Why did he lose Iowa in 2016 to Ted Cruz? He lost evangelicals. Trump did by 12 points, double digits to Ted Cruz. Now, what a difference 8 years makes. Trump with an outright majority in our poll, 51% of evangelicals.
2016, this county went for Ted Cruz. What's changed?
What's changed is that the evangelical Christians have bought, and by the way, I consider myself one, have come to the point where they believe that Donald Trump is speaking their kind of issues. They think they need somebody that can take on the, quote, libs, and so they've sold out.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and in the lowest Republican voter turnout in decades, Donald Trump has claimed victory in the Iowa caucuses. Donald received just a little over 50,000 votes in an absolutely dismal turnout in Iowa on Monday night.
Trump is the farthest thing from an evangelical Christian, actually the farthest thing from a Christian in terms of his own professed values, how he treats women, how he treats other people, his willingness to say whatever he wants, whether it's true or not. I mean, these are hardly what most Christians would call Christian values. So in many ways, the danger here is that the evangelical Christians have abandoned any pretense of being ethical. And they're just doing this because Trump is their vehicle to their vision of what they'd like to impose on the rest of us in the United States.
Howard Dean was the governor of Vermont and also a 2004 presidential candidate. He spoke to a Scripps reporter about his opinion on Donald Trump being perceived as an upstanding Christian. Nothing could be further from the truth. Nothing could be further from the truth. Donald Trump is a con man and a liar. He is not the person that his supporters make him out to be. Donald Trump is the polar opposite of what being a Christian is supposed to be. Apparently, so are his followers.
I don't know what's happened to Iowa. I am shocked. It was always a swing state, and it isn't anymore. So there's some bitterness. There's some anger. Maybe the evangelicals have made more progress.
Donald won the Iowa caucuses and is on track to be the Republican nominee. Many Republicans have voiced their displeasure with the potential outcome. It's reported that many will skip the process altogether if Donald is the nominee. Many Republicans have grown tired of Donald Trump's con and are thinking about sticking their heads in the sand. For many, Donald Trump means certain doom to the party, and they don't want any part of it. The Trump campaign sees his victory in Iowa as a shape of things to come, rather than seeing themselves as unwanted by their own party. The Trump campaign is forcing Donald on voters and dismissing all opposition as weak and pathetic. Right-wing media celebrated Trump's potential victory before the votes had even been counted. This biased reporting had Ron DeSantis fuming because he didn't think it was fair. Ron DeSantis just doesn't have what it takes to win. DeSantis wasn't expected to edge out Nikki Haley either, but the poor voter turnout may have had something to do with that. Keep in mind that Donald Trump only got 50,000 votes. It's a relatively low number to be making such a fuss about. Donald spoke after the caucuses and congratulated the other candidates for participating. He said that it was nice watching Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley play together. The message that the Trump team wanted to present after the caucus was for every other candidate to quit and get in line behind Donald. Whether or not the rest of the field has the backbone to stand up to the Orange Menace remains to be seen. Donald Trump is trying to count his chickens before they're hatched. Don't forget that Donald Trump is essentially out on bond. He's a criminal that could lose his freedom well before the election. If that happens, the GOP will be up a creek without a paddle, and that's a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.